at the Grizzly Pear, and it was kind of hilarious, honestly. So I just want to talk about it. And I just want to say, first and foremost, if I offended anybody, I'm sorry. I did not. I deleted the video as soon as I fucking, took it. As soon as she complained about it. Literally all that happened, okay? The first comedian went up, and it was a female comedian, and she was funny, I was enjoying it. I thought this will be fun. This is like a supportive, fun event, like let me be enthusiastic. I'm excited to be here. I just want to have a good time. This is a show, I've been wanting to perform at this Grizzly Pear for a long time. Literally, I've been, thinking about it for like a couple years, and I was nervous to go in. I guess here's why. My act went off like a fucking bomb in that place. I wouldn't say I bombed, although maybe I did. I bombed the fuck out of it. Anyway, so she was performing, and I've got my scenes from life thing where I film performers, and it's part of my show. It's like I'm trying to catalog or archive, but also promote, and just it's part of the art, is the fabric of the New York kind of scene. And these open mics in particular are sort of my thing that I'm interested in exploring, and like milieu or medium or something. And so, I've done this a lot. I'll go to different open mics, and, I just take a few seconds of people performing, maybe 6 to 10 seconds of like this person, that person. It's literally less than your average person takes for Instagram, And besides, with Instagram and TikTok and all this shit, everybody is filming everything all the time now anyway. You'd think as an entertainer, you'd want people to film you. I mean, I get it. It's an open mic. You're working on stuff. You don't want people to... The comedians are the ones who are more sensitive to this than anybody, is what I've noticed. What are you doing? You're filming me? Oh, I can't have that on the internet. Maybe that does matter for their job. Maybe if somebody sees it and they're bad or something, like, they'll lose their job, I guess, on McDougal Street at the Grizzly Pear. So anyway, don't get me wrong, that definitely factored in. I was in a conspicuous part of the room, for the comedians on stage. What I think it is I'm not talking about her, but all these comedians attacked me. They all, one after the next, every one of them who went up had something to say about it, directed at me. And I could have fucking went after them, but I didn't. Because I apologized, How the fuck was I supposed to know? There was nothing hostile or even unusual about it, I thought. I thought everybody just films everything. And like, if you're an entertainer, you're on fucking stage. What the fuck? You're gonna get mad somebody's filming you? Like, you're out of your mind. I apologize. That doesn't mean I have to agree with it. She can have whatever her opinion she wants. So can I. I deleted the fucking video, so it doesn't matter. I'm not saying, okay, so all I said basically was like, so she called me out from the stage. She like stops her act. What are you doing? Oh my God, this guy's filming me. What the fuck are you doing at an open mic? Delete that immediately. This guy probably has a personality disorder. She was talking about personality disorders. It's like, first of all, these comedians, this is how their imagination works. They automatically jump to whatever the most like ridiculous, like exaggerated, like fantastic, like, oh, this guy's gonna masturbate to the video. He's gonna take it home, he's gonna jack off to it. It's like, first of all, how many fucking videos of shit do you have on your phone? I guarantee you got videos of you filming people performing. Like, it's not unusual to do this. I'm sorry. I was going to try to support your act. Sorry about that. Like, I should have known better. And so she calls me out. She stops her whole thing. I said, I'm sorry, It kind of shut me down, honestly. I mean, I went into this thing very enthusiastic, like, I'm ready to have a good time. I'm ready to support everybody. And like, it's a fucking stand-up comedy open mic at 4:30 on a Friday. There's 8 people there, like, I'm just trying to add some energy to the room, you know? Otherwise, what the fuck is the point of this? You're just trying to get up on stage and, like, I don't know, rough draft your jokes out or whatever. That's why these open mics are all terrible and nobody goes to them. They're just ways of ripping the comedians off. It's like a gym for comedians. It's not actually a performance, which is, you know, part of what I'm trying to do with my show and why people like my show is because it is actually a performance that people want to see. It isn't just like 8 fucking shitty comedians who are miserable and fucking racist and like reduce everything in the world to just the stupidest possible shit. And they want to insult me. I was the offensive one, believe it or not. My energy, I was just on such a different wave. I think that's what it was. They just sensed, what is this? And this lady turned on me for some reason. I get it, you know? Okay, I'm sorry. You don't want men filming you, I understand. Like, you don't want strange men filming you in public. You don't know what they're gonna do with the video. I get it, I'm sorry. But like, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm gonna do with it. You know, I'm just trying to, like I said, archive and promote local artists. You know, I'm trying to portray a culture, you know? And so filming shit in this venue was important to me. This is a famous venue. It used to be the Cafe Rienzi, which was like a beat coffee house that Ted Jones and I think Ted Jones maybe lived above it or something, I don't know. But now it's a comedy club, unfortunately, for everybody. But it used to be like a beat poetry hangout. And so, you know, I was going to get a performance in before I have to move. I've literally been procrastinating this for like almost 2 years. And here's what happened. I guess here's a good reason why I've been procrastinating it. It's just, I'm too powerful. You know, it's like being an X-Men. You got to learn to control your power, otherwise you just blow the whole room up. So anyway, it was just weird that people chose to fixate on it. I guess because it was the only interesting thing that happened. To be honest, it was such a like honest mistake. The fact that they chose to dwell on it was what was like, come on, this is just like mean. Like I wasn't, it may have just been as well a man comedian I would have filmed. It wasn't like I was filming her because she was like hot or something. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch this video later. It was literally just like, more than anything, I wanted to film this room. And so she just so happened to be the first comedian. You know, like I said, I was super high, and so my point of view and my perspective is like kind of fucking warped, but like, these people need to relax, man. Like, it's just, this is like millennial overprotective shit. Like, oh my God, you filmed me without my fucking permission. It's like, you're on a fucking stage. Like, it's not like I filmed you in your fucking apartment or something. And like I said, I'm not defending it, but I think they're making an issue out of something that's not an issue. Like, I wasn't filming a private conversation, you know. And so every one of these fucking comedians that went up afterwards, like, took a shot at me. It was like the first thing, you know, because it was something that happened. Oh my God, she got mad and she left because she was so like, and it's like, I didn't do anything. I mean, I apologize. I apologize for, maybe I should delete this video. This is not gonna help at all. So when I went up on stage, I tried to kind of just explain, because that's what fucking comedians do. They talk about shit. And I just said, you know, I've got a public access TV show, and I don't know. These guys got no sense of humor. These comedians got no sense of humor. That's the problem. They're too busy like working on their act and shit, trying to like. They're all terrible. These. All right, I gotta cut this off because it's just too public. But this one comedian who went up after me, I thought it was over. You know, after I had gone and sort of explained, or like, you know, apologized. I apologized. It was the first thing I did. I went up and I said, hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody. I deleted the video. And then I talked about my public access TV show. And then I changed the subject entirely. I talked about narcissism. I don't know. Like, nobody laughed at anything I said the whole fucking set. What I think was kind of happening is, like, a lot of these comedians who hang out at these... First of all, these open mics are, like... These comedians are, like... They're roast... You know, they roast you. They're tough. They'll make fun of you. They'll go after you. Like, that's how these places are. It's not necessarily, like, a supportive room. And, like, a lot of the comedy on fucking... McDougal and Bleecker in particular, it's not like Brooklyn comedy, you know, it's not like alt hipster comedy. It's like leftover people trying to imitate like Nick DiPaolo or something. It's like Opie and Anthony comedy, you know, like the height of that, of course, being like Louis, but like most of them. This guy who went on after me, first thing he said, wow, that guy was super enthusiastic. Isn't that nice that he cared so much, or he was so like energetic about that thing nobody cared about? Because I did my Charles Grodin impersonation. Sorry, excuse me. I did my fucking Charles Grodin impersonation. And he's like, wow, that guy was super enthusiastic about that thing nobody cared about. You're going to see that on Saturday Night Live. Mark my words. I will do my fucking Charles Grodin impersonation on Saturday Night Live, motherfucker. You're going to eat shit because... that is funny, and you don't know what the fuck is funny. You're a fucking hack. They're all hacks. My problem is I'm an artist. Every time I do stand-up, it's kind of like this. I kind of just like piss everybody off. It's just crazy because half my performances are, people say, are like the best thing they've ever seen, and then half of them, like, people get like pissed and I get banned from shit. It's like, how is this possible? Like, it's just that energy, man. It's polarizing, I guess, when you bring that much energy. Where's this place? So, okay, so anyway, where was I? I just had half this chicken parmesan sandwich. That was pretty good. I don't know what the fucking big deal was. It really was not a big deal. You know, if it wasn't me, let's say I was some old woman or something, would they have piled on me so much? Oh, what the fuck are you doing filming? Jesus Christ. You're gonna go home and whack off to this? The guy, okay, so then this one guy who went after me, first there was a guy, oh, that was good that you were enthusiastic for that thing that nobody cares about. Gee, thanks, asshole. Nice supportive environment they got here. I can't help it, there's nobody fucking here, and it's just a bunch of like soul dead fucking comedians that like are a bunch of creeps. You know, they're the fucking creeps is the fucking thing. Not me. And so anyway, my one-man show did not go that well, I guess. This should be me. Okay, I want to do a show at Lucille Lortel where I just read my poetry and talk. I should have an off-Broadway show at like Cherry Lane Theater. There's all these lame fucking one-person show. It's like, I'm a fucking artist, god damn it. I'm one of the greatest entertainers alive. And Colin Quinn is like another one of these kind of like McDougal. He's okay. He's okay. Hacks, these comedian hacks. I mean, I wasn't like invasive about it. And to be honest, if people were going to go after me, I could have interrupted. I could have stopped the show. You know what I mean? But I was polite about it, and I just sat there and didn't say anything. They kept, every fucking comedian who went up acknowledged it. I was trying to be low key about it, like, sorry, let's just forget it happened. You know, like, anyway, okay, so then this one comedian who went after me goes up and he's like, you know, you didn't have to say anything. You could have just let it go. But your defense when you came up was honestly the rapiest thing I've ever heard. And it's like, you're a stand-up comedian. Is that really the rapiest thing you've ever heard? First of all, I doubt it. Second of all, like, it wasn't rapey. The point of what I was saying is that I'm not gonna do that with this. I'm definitely not interested. That's not why I was filming. What do you think? I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna watch this and be like, oh yeah. You know, maybe that is something, maybe that's a problem. Maybe this is something that men do. I don't know.
In that order.
I don't know. I mean, this is obviously like about the bigger issue of like copyright and consent and filming people with consent and whatnot. And I don't know. That's obviously a big question in what I do, and well, just the culture at large. It's something that's sort of changing. The internet and phones and everything kind of changed the nature of this stuff. You know, copyright was something that was more easily enforced when there was a finite number of things. You could control, okay, these are going out, so we control who gets money or whatever, what's permitted. Whereas now with the internet, right, you can just post any goddamn thing. And I'm not trying to exploit anybody or, use anybody or, do anything weird or creepy or anything. All I'm trying to do is make art. And all I'm trying to do is make a film. And, I want to make a film about life. I don't like forms or paperwork at all. It's all bureaucracy. I don't like emails. I want people to trust me and to like Ashley, to be honest, had the attitude that I want people to have, or I hope people will have, which is that she's honored to be a part of it. Like, people don't see the value in what I'm doing right now necessarily. They just think it's a documentary or something, or a vlog, but I take it seriously. It's my big thing, and unconsciously a lot of planning and a lot of intention goes into it. A lot of structure, a lot of idea. It's what I want to do. It's what I want to make. And if I'm filming somebody, it's because I find them interesting. It's like I'm casting you and putting you in my movie immediately. Now, granted, that is your decision to make if you want to be a part of that, and certainly if you don't want to be a part of that, let me know. I'll take you out. And my point was that typically today, people like when you tag them and shit. They like when you post them. Oh, you filmed my show, you tagged me, and you posted a clip of it. Fuck, I must have done a good job. You know, I'm going to repost it or whatever. I mean, you can untag yourself. You can ask somebody to take it down. That's totally fine. But, I don't know. I didn't, you know, I certainly didn't do anything unusual, I didn't think, in a big, in a grand way, and I apologize for it immediately, you know. You know, these comedians, they all live in their own fucking little world. There is a dichotomy. You know, this is something I see with the open mic that I run is like, you know, a lot of times these comedians do not really cooperate well with the other acts. And that's one reason why I have to dial it back with the comedians, because the act was about Mexican spies. You don't necessarily think Mexicans have spies, do you? You know, that's not something you associate with Mexico. But even with Spy Kids movies, I remember those movies. I wouldn't think Mexican people are spies. It's like your whole act is racist. Or it's racial humor. Like, you know, that's just because something is like boiled down and kind of simplified does not mean it's something that people care about. I'm trying to do something bigger. I'm trying to experiment and broaden the form, frankly. I think these venues on McDougal Street and Bleecker should welcome the good comedians who are doing interesting stuff, because this scheme that they've got going on now where it's like barking, comedy show, these comedians are just bitter, like, you know, their worldviews are strange and they're trying to enforce their world. That's like what their act is. Here, let me get up, let me kind of explain my take on things. Here's my maybe the, you know, thing about life, or, and it's like, if you're gonna do that, you have to be either like kind of quirky and unique and interesting in that way and smart, or like you have to be like a voice who's got important things to say to people that are also funny. You know, like, I don't know. I don't even remember what the fuck they talked about. You know, I was ready to go in there and just have a nice time and be friendly and just like, you know, blend in. I wasn't trying to like torpedo the whole thing. The guy who hosted it was pretty cool. He didn't make a big deal about it at all. You know, it was all the other comedians that were like, whoa, we gotta, you know, we all gotta jump on this because we're insecure. We can't handle the attention. It's like haters, right? You know you're doing something right if you have haters. You know, the fact that all those people like jumped on me, it was because they could sense there was a new energy and like they wanted to feed on it. Or to like, I don't know. Anyway, that didn't bother me. I won't even, you know, this is not gonna leave like a permanent scar or anything. I don't even know if they'll remember it a week from now. You know, I mean, like, is word gonna get out, oh, this Matt Proctor guy is a fucking creep? You know, I think if they hear the actual story, what did he do? Oh, he started filming this girl at an open mic for 3 seconds. And then he deleted the video when she asked him to. It's like, it's unfortunate that it was a woman, because, you know, just in the nature of like the conversation now, that has a whole different intonation and intention and meaning and perception in people's eyes. They're thinking this man was filming a woman without her consent. What a fucking creep. They're not thinking, you know, whereas if it was just a guy, they'd be like, I guarantee you nobody would have even fucking said anything about it. The comedian who went on right after was like, you can film me if you want. I'd like it if you film me. That's how I thought people were going to react, to be honest. I thought it was going to be like, hey, thanks for promoting my fucking career. You know, I don't know. I apologize. It won't happen again. You know, I mean, what's going to happen? Oh, Matt Proctor, you know, if anything, people will start talking about it maybe, and then they'll look into my open mic and see and be like, fuck, this guy runs this thing that's actually cool. Maybe we should be nice to him rather than make fun of him on stage to try and make ourselves look good. But, I mean, I can tell you one thing. None of those fucking comedians are going to get anywhere on my fucking open mic. Sorry. But, we don't need you. And you're terrible anyway. You know? I was doing them a favor by even going to that shit. Like I said, I like the guy who hosted. The fucking walls of this club, the Grisly Pear, are all these pictures of all these comedians, none of whom you've heard of. You have no idea who any of these people are. And it's like their pictures on the wall like they're famous. with their social media and shit. It's like no one's ever heard of any of these people. Like, I don't know. I'd like to have a good relationship with that place and be able to do shows there. The vibe that I got was there's like a posse or like a clique of comedians that are like the McDougal comedians, and they're there all the time. They do the night shows, they do Barking, they do the comedy shop, and you know, they have to kind of like give you a hard time. They're tough, you know, especially if you go after one of their own, right? Oh, I went after this, you know, I didn't do anything. You know, after she called me out from the stage, I kind of shut down. I wasn't as enthusiastic about her act, and I started looking at my notes because I thought, okay, you don't want me to pay attention to you. I don't want to get any more trouble. So I'm just going to ignore you. And she left the open mic early. It was like, you're out of your fucking mind. You're making a way bigger deal out of this than it needs to be. I mean, comedy is supposed to be the place where you can talk about stuff, right? I'm gonna get canceled. I don't know. You know, if anybody ever starts to give a fuck about my show, it'll probably be when they start to have a conversation about, oh, Matt Proctor's been filming these people without their permission. Isn't that creepy? Matt Proctor films people and he puts on the internet without asking them. It's like, what the fuck? More people are gonna see any Instagram post than any of my fucking YouTube videos. And the YouTube videos are artistic. They're actually beautiful pieces of work. They're not just some stupid fucking like TikTok video or something. Anyway, that's what happened. I'll talk more about it later. I'm still processing it. Comedians are a bunch of fucking pussies. You know, they're the ones who are sensitive. For the one, you know, they're always getting mad at the audience. Oh, the audience doesn't like me. They're not laughing. You just gotta plow, motherfucker. That's what I did. That guy's more enthusiastic about things that nobody cares about than anybody I've ever seen. Look, I can't help it that there's first of all, there's nobody here. Oh well, fuck them.